Yeah, they usually do some type of like jet race combination, so definitely not really anything too surprising to see here. Definitely have been known to play the stage for quite some time as well. So I feel like we haven't really seen any curveballs here. The only real thing that is maybe slightly different is like the fact that you're starting to see Zeta play some Viper for Cloud9. That's like the real only adjustment.
I'm really interested just to see what Zeta is going to be doing as far as the default setups. This obviously is going to be a wall over towards A. Smoke will allow him to move up towards ramps, but the rest of Cloud9 showing some aggression up towards mail. Wall will come down to respond as paint shells over the top could actually provide a lot of damage, and it will. More than a lot of damage. First kill will be confirmed. That's Derek who falls. Up top, though, Supa finds an immediate response, so even at the early interaction, we still have a 4v4.
Indeed, we do. On equal footing here as far as man count. We are seeing the heal happen there to get Shanks back up to speed. Two players defending here as we do see C9 going for the full split. Floppy catches Superman way off guard. Neptune unable to recover it as Floppy takes full control of the site now. The rest of his teammates will be flooding in. Only 2 members left here for this retake. Poised, first man in. He's down as well now, all on Shanks and tough ahead of him.
Shots tapping with the frenzy will eventually be challenged, and Floppy just sneaking through mail wins the round without question. I mean, the immediate rotation from Cloud9 coming through with the main focus being through main obviously gets them onto site safely, which puts Rise's attention back towards that main entryway. But it's this play to open up the space initially that you thought was going to be the big key. Floppy rotating on through for free, finds these 2 kills, and from there on out, it's just too much to deal with for Rise.
Also, I wanted to double check this to be sure, and I confirmed it. This is the first time Zeta's ever played Viper in a match.
Okay.
Obviously, in the past, when this team would play Split, he played a lot of Breach. So this is definitely a big pivot for Cloud9 Blue coming into this game. I'm sure it's something they've been practicing a lot, but this is the first time we get to see it.
Oh, early point of contact. Rise sneaking down mid. Gets smoked out. Defensively, they will track backwards as Zeta makes his way onto site. Leaf very quickly takes control of screens, finds the first elimination, and does it cleanly, not losing a single point of health. Rise trying to rotate through this angle is going to be tested the entire way, and Leaf, I think, was very well responded to that. He will back away, knowing that they need to wait for the spike to still get onto site.
Yeah, Cloud9 were a little bit lag behind on the spike carriers, but they are going to make it up. Mitch blocks their flank with the wall. They still have the Poison Orb and Viper wall blocking Heaven and screens, respectively. So they'll be able to get the spike down no problem. Now the Omen smoke comes up to further block off screens position. They have a player in the Heaven Rafters, so everything's looking great for Cloud9.
Derek is about to realize this whole slow rotation from Sewer is going to be all for nothing. He's going to walk right into a barrier orb and say, oh, shoot. So it's on really to Supa. What can he do? Finds one with the shorty, but at this point, Derek, nice little parkour right over the top. And maybe an opportunity to find a kill or two, but a 1v4 with the Classic with not a lot of time, likely not going to happen. So let's see if he can find a point of contact. Everyone running away from him, and it looks like Derek has missed his window, at least for now. Zeppa coming back to the play. A headshot does connect, but Zeppa, too much firepower, wins the gunfight, and Cloud9 Blue go up 2-0.
Yeah, now Rise can finally, get their weapons and actually put their best foot forward. I mean, Superman, again, a guy who's been around, mostly known for his time on Dignitas, but also brief stints on Immortals and Beast Coast, a controller player that definitely at times has been, very powerful. Obviously, Shanks, mostly known for his time on Immortals and Energy. So they have definitely made some big upgrades to the roster, I feel like, with these picks. And certainly Neptune and Poised are names that people recognize as well. And Anger, he's still there. He's as the coach of the team, a very experienced player. Definitely knowledgeable dude.
Early information here from Rise. What to say, they see both players cross, and Shanks is equal to the task, finding both the duelist players early. Mitch on the corner, also going to be red, but it will be eventually isolated. So there is an opportunity to get this back to more level numbers here. Cloud9 Blue still having to fight back a 2v4, though. Yeah,
Cloud9 is trying to brute force their way into A early, and they got absolutely shut down. Shanks with a big double kill there to kind of kick things off, and now Rise has made some good rotations into A Heaven. They still have Poise locking it down over here towards screens. And so Mitch and Floppy are going to have a tough time. They're trying to wall their way up into A Heaven. Interesting maneuver. Maybe they can find a little vulnerability here. They actually do almost catch one with the blind side, but Neptune had him covered. A nice attempt from Cloud9, but it is caught by Rise.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the key word. Caught was the whole key. I mean, you saw for a moment, knocking on the boombot was Neptune the entire way through. He catches both Leaf and Zeppa, making their aggressive move up A ramps, which allows Shanks a chance to expect the play, and he finds 2 kills because of it. And then beyond that, also, again, getting caught trying to make the play up top, as there was maybe an opportunity there for a moment, but good kind of crossfire setup between Derek and Neptune to make sure everything stays safe.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of a cool little pivot from Poise. I had to also kind of point out. This guy was normally an Omen player for a very long time. Played a good bit of Sage as well in Astra, and now being that Sentinel.
Really put a contact. Could come through here at B main. Lots of utility being sent as Rise. They want this area, and they will successfully grab it. Wall will go down early. So Derek and Neptune continue to work together, but meanwhile, mid-map, that's where the play from Cloud9 largely is trying to succeed, and they have found Shanks early. So now it's on to Poise. You mentioned it. Time for him to showcase what he's got from a Sentinel's POV. He's the only sole defender still over by A.
Yeah, excuse me, you're seeing just great clearance by Leaf into A Heaven. They already had a player positioned outside A ramps as well, so they can start pinching in on the site, which is wide open now. Just big entry there from Leaf into A Heaven. Nice site control here from Cloud9 Blue. They have a Viper Spit available as well for the post plant, which will be deployed pretty much immediately here behind the screen. Gonna be a tough retake now from Rise. Is there a man behind it that have to contend with that Viper Spit?
Yeah, I'm looking at Neptune. He's got to hopefully have something to open up some space. But again, they used a lot of their utility to get through B main. So will there actually be an opportunity to use anything to clear out some of this Viper's Pit? The answer would seem to be no. But Poise is able to turn things into a 4v4. Now here comes the approach. Rise largely comes from the outside. Poise finds the second from the back, but Mitch lining up 2, not going to get the third. Super keeping things all even, and Poise has found a third. Just down to Zeta. 1v2 situation. Not going to get the better of Supa. And my goodness, man. So Poise, the sole defender, finds 3. He'll be awarded the defuse, and Rise successfully retake.
Oh, just got it, too. Another second of stalling, and Cloud9 Blue may have won off the spike explosion. Really nicely crafted retake from Rise to break through the Viper, especially when Mitch was able to get a couple of kills off the edge of it. And then you had Shanks go down so early. It was looking really good for Cloud9. But Poised and company able to just brute force their way through it, worked it out together, kept their spacing exactly how they needed to, and traded it very efficiently inside the Viper Pit to get themselves a victory, tie up the game, and force Cloud9 Blue onto a very low buy, whereas they're sitting on Phantoms aplenty.
Got a lot of early utility being spent from both sides over through B Garage here. Neptune's even considering, does he want to use a paint shell to try to get control once more? Cloud9 Blue have been gifted space through mid for 4 straight rounds. They'll continue to use that. Leaf you the showstopper, trying to come through. Not the greatest movement we've seen from him ever, but he still gets clearance to get back onto the B site.
Yeah, really strong take here from Cloud9. Leaf already in the back halls, looking to maybe even flank these Heaven stairs, and no one's really even paying attention to that yet because Rise is so committed to holding on to this B lobby control. Leaf only good for 1. Superman, that's a big double kill to keep them in the hunt. They still have B lobby control as well. Shanks now cutting off the rest of this back halls attack. Rise is contending this pretty darn well, all considering. Now it's actually all on Zeta.
What a shot from Shanks. 3 kills in the round, and okay, so here's something else to kind of keep in the back of our mind as Rise can cleanly hold the setup even though Cloud9 find the aggression through. That's a couple of different offensive looks where Cloud9 have gotten through a site, but the spike is nowhere to be found. That time it's actually a late play where Zeppa is actually bringing the spike all the way back in towards the defensive spawn. So the play around the objective initially looks great, but the play for the objective has been maybe a little bit looser than we've come to know.
Yeah, maybe, but you also have to give credit for Rise, like knowing what they had, right? Like knowing that, yeah, we have double B lobby control. Yeah, we had to give up B Heaven in the site, therefore. But they were able to have Superman really kind of contain that back halls hit, and then again, they just maintain control of B lobby to ensure that they would get the site back. So it's crafty play from Rise at the same time, like making calculated, like creating calculated vulnerabilities that they know they can cover for, if that makes any sense. So definitely like the play there from Rise defensively. But yeah, Cloud9 Blues had a couple of chances go awry, we'll say. A couple of swings and a miss.
Well, this time, trying to send this one through ropes. Poise, once again, going to be tested. Shanks here with them. No one has actually seen Poise yet. Now he reveals his position. He finds one. Would love a second, but the neural theft will come through. Spike once again, down to the ground. Superman on the rotation from behind. Leaf is good for 1, but is not able to collect the spike. So a heal will come through, and a second attempt will be made to grab this. Oh, Gravity Well will come through. That's going to stop everybody in place. Really well timed, and once more the spike not collected, but Zeta coming through ramps finds one, nearly a pixel peek up top on the Neptune. Resurrection just to bait out the play, and Mitch and Leaf swing for the kills, but is it enough? It's just down to Derek, not quite able to clean things up. And it's another costly round, but Cloud9 Blue able to get us back to level at 3.
Yeah, two big things there. One, Leaf continues just to put the pressure on, man. He is so aggressive, you know, just being able to get up there, take point, be fearless. You know, at times it kind of, I don't know, like, it reminds you a little bit of Asuna. Like, just being willing to just kind of get in there and just fight it out. And then also just a great use of the res. In an open position that they know that is going to cause a reaction from Rise, they kind of play off of it, and they're able to just double out from ropes and make things happen. Able to battle through the grab well, battle through the walls, battle some of the things that were going to maybe harm them. They found a way around it.
Oh, Shanks.
Dicey, but it works.
Initially, it works.
Yeah. No pun intended to the player.
Cloud9 still stacking mid-map. This time, though, Derek is going to be stunned up, but the judge, close quarters, able to find one. Zeppa, knives of his own, able to find the second elimination. Paint Shell's going to flush him right into the waiting arms of Neptune, who goes right to the showstopper, turns, finds Mitch. Oh, incredible play from Neptune. But Floppy teleports behind this play. Going to go ahead and try to stick for the plant. Rise seeing what they want to try to contest this as soon as possible. Dark cover coming through. Shakes floating on in. But Floppy's avoided this, and Shakes falls to, oh no! Dies to fall damage. Floppy's behind the play again. Neptune's low. If he can find poise, this is very winnable. There's the first. No! Neptune snaps in time at 6 HP. And the defuse again confirmed.
Oh my god, that round was insane. What a round, dude. I think the instant replay will just kind of tell it all. I mean, you're thinking C9 are done for after Rise just makes such a huge play with Neptune's raised dash into heaven, you know, building off of Derek's kill. Zeppa, obviously some great daggers, but Neptune's fearlessness in his veins. And then to see that happen to Shanks. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He was so close to landing on top that sight box and being totally fine. It winds up not mattering. His teammates cover it. And now Cloud9 had to go for a low buy.
Another slow orb boombot play from Rise, getting control of B. They've denied this ultimate orb routinely. Yeah. Which is a small thing that I feel like doesn't get talked about a lot, but for Rise, it's obviously been pretty cognitive.
We've seen
they
this
wanted
before
to take
too,
over
right?
Position. Yeah.
We've seen their willingness to just like take B lobby control, and hey, maybe B heaven becomes a bit more vulnerable. But this time around, they're actually reinforcing it with 2 more players on B site, and they're just playing. Okay, we'll give up mid, but we have A heaven covered. We have B heaven covered. We have control of B lobby. Like they have so much map control on the Rise side of things.
Oh, and they have the star here to also try to make life difficult. That's why. Paint shell gravity wall combination. This time not going to connect. Neptune on a corner. Paint shell bounces right in front of his face. He has to give up the angle, and Cloud9 Blue once again get B tower. Quickly trying to work their way in. Leaf with a Spectre, able to find one. Neptune only good for a single elimination, and Cloud9 Blue again get onto the B site. Interesting interaction here with Mitch. Says, come to my level, boys.
Oh, God. Just off the top turnbuckle, man. Straight clothesline.
Player standing.
And there's just nothing they can seem to do. Superman now left alone in a tough 1 versus 2. Players have really great positioning to kind of play off of each other, not really get to command the 1v1s that he wants. And yeah, that's going to be the nice crossfire. Zeppa collecting the hat trick. That's a big round from Cloud9, coming in with lower firepower. Again, not having much map control early on, and they just kind of tear their way through it. And I feel that's going to be the big story. Zeppa and Leaf might be the most skilled aimers on this server. And so when they feel confident and they get going, they can definitely cause a ruckus. And then you just got the shenanigans of Mitch's wall. You know, that's a nice little X factor, I guess you could say. So that's a big victory for Cloud9 Blue. They kind of steal one away a little bit earlier than maybe Rise was anticipating, as the last 4 rounds in a row have been back and forth. So no one really has control of this game yet. Both economies are fragile. No one really has, you know, that consistency just yet.
But it is essentially complete turntables moment here as Rise find themselves on the hampered buy, and Cloud9 Blue have the full purchase. And I'm just really curious to see if Rise are going to continue to allow this B main just to be, or this middle of the map just continue to be taken for free for Cloud9. This time it looks like they actually are trying to contest this early, but Cloud9 not interested, are actually rotating over as they got damage on the Shanks and they could play maybe over for A.
Yeah, I mean, when you have this Raze Jet combo, I mean, you just want to do these explosive, like, fast-paced burst plays, right? Like, it just lends to those two agents, especially on the hands of Leaf and Zeppa, who are fearless and are fragging out, and they're trying to do it yet again here. Poison Company, though, trying to hold on, but not for long, unfortunately.
Shanks just gets stuck by a blast pack?
I don't know what happened because my screen was wrecked. I think he did. I think you're absolutely right. Like, it wrecked our spectator view. I was so confused. I was just trying to trudge along. I'm glad you pointed that
Here's
out.
something beeping on him, but back into the round, Rise is actually in a position where they could fight back for a thrifty of their own here. 2v3. Zeppa down low has gotten at least an angle on where Neptune's position. They should know Zeppa's playing from behind, and Zeppa's anticipating this peak, but still can't win the gunfight. So now 2v2 onto the site. Up top, Bitch not able to find anything. Zeta in the back finds one, knows where the second is. Shoulder for shoulder, Supa for 4, and Rise respond back with the lower economical disadvantage round of their own.
How does that happen? What a round from Rise to recover off a thrifty. Cloud9 Blue had such big entries. They had man advantage in the post plant. Things were looking brilliant. And then Rise pull a rabbit out of the hat. Superman being a big part of that, of course. They are really just going toe-to-toe. Again, the last 5 rounds in a row are just back and forth. Cloud9 have had a lot of plants these last few rounds, but only netting 2 closes. And yeah, look at this from Shanks.
Unreal, dude. I've never seen that interaction before.
Like, I remember blocked his vision too.
I would be really interested to actually know.
Yeah, maybe we can find out, because obviously from us at the spectator point of view, that looked really odd.
Yeah. I remember it was at stage 1, the first time I'd seen a Blaze Wall get a kill, and I was giddy about that. But a Blast Pack stick, that takes pretty cake for sure.
Reminds me like a sticky grenade from Halo back in the day, boy. Brings back some nostalgia. We're going to see Cloud9 looking to load up the box of Mailroom this time. Again, just trying to play that Leaf Zeppa combo with those 2 aggressive agents, trying to just get those entries quick.
Ooh. Zeppa trying to dash forward. He's going to miss the right click. The showstopper that was also spent not finding any value. So Cloud9 Blue, hard commitment, but the first blood still favors that of Rise. Leaf able to respond, Zeta another, as they do get some pressure, but Rise is still in a very formidable position to hold this, and Derek for 2, poised the 3rd. Zeta still threatening, but not going to be able to find a way down from the rafters. So Derek clutches up with 3, and Rise never let go of the B zone.
Yeah, they just don't get their kills. Like, they try to press forward, and Rise just kind of back up. The daggers miss from Zeppa, and interesting to see Zeta spin the Viper's Pit on B Heaven. Normally something you'd think you'd use, like, on the site in a post-plant scenario. I'm not sure if that was, like, by design, or if that was kind of, like, a reaction to what was going on, to try to make sure they kept control of that area of the map. That way they could, like, really shut down that as a retake route. Either way, it now puts Cloud9 Blue in a tough spot with just Sheriffs in a frenzy. And, I mean, Rise are starting to, you know, really control the defensive side now.
Right back through mid-map. Same wall as last round for Cloud9 Blue. Supa playing a bit more forward. Has some assistance this time, as it'll be Neptune right there with him, essentially shoulder to shoulder. But the play through Vents, Shanks expects the first, actually expected the second as well, but Zeppa thinks the better of the challenge, at least initially. And Rise will also tally a kill mid-map to go up 5-3 early.
Yeah, I mean, again, Rise are really starting to piece together this defense consistently now. It's no longer the back and forth. They're starting to kind of really dictate the pace of these rounds. As they have the quick 5-1-3, as you said, they have plenty of alts on the table to finish this off. Zeta able to get one little pick there onto Derek over towards B side. Zeppa, though, gets caught trying to pressure A Heaven, and you imagine this is about to get wrapped up by Rise.
You have to feel so. I mean, unless you get something out of the floppy right here. Gets an opportunity for it, but cannot convert. And then the last player, Zeta, down low, not going to be able to find too much there. So that will do it. Rise put themselves at the healthiest cushion that we've seen from either team so far. We talked about the fact that the first, realistically, 7-6 rounds were really back and forth, but these last 3, after the Thrifty came through, Rise have been in control of the conversation.
Yeah, they're getting great value out of all their players right now. Again, a lot of former, like, Immortals and Dignitas members on this team. So definitely going to be some familiarity amongst those players. Already some chemistry kind of being revitalized by bringing them back together on Rise. All of these guys are very capable players, very skilled players that just, you know, needed their opportunity to come back together on a team. And now they have it here at Rise, and they're putting up a good showing for themselves Kick things off here on split. Shanks, oh, doesn't get to dash away. Great catch from Lee to at least make sure that's an equal trade and keep presence all across the map.
Wants the pistol peek. Maybe saw the brim of the hat of poise, but both players will back into their respective corners. So 4v4 we go. Resurrection still available for Cloud9. Mitch, you have to feel like is going to try to play for this.
Yeah, both of them have it available.
Similarly,
actually.
that could be the same thing for Derek. Paint shells to push him back, and find a lot of damage. Poise now down
wrecked.
just to 30 health. And a 5v4 unfolds with 60 seconds.
I love this, though. The reaction from Rise to push them off of chasing after that kill. It also ensures they can get their res off. Neptune to puts the pressure on, gets a pick as well. Keeps it in an even 4-on-4. Forces a heal out of Mitch onto himself.
Wow.
All right, he healed the Raze, actually. That's Leaf picking the heal there. But still, I mean, Rise come out kind of on top. They still have 3 ults in play as well. Neural Theft, all kinds of goodies for Rise. But Zeta, he's taking full control of B. But he's I don't know, he has to kind of make a play, I feel like, in the back halls. And they know, Rise knows it's possible.
Yeah, Spike is still in sewers, but now from the shadows, making the play through. Shanks, other side of the corner, misses a timing potentially on the Leaf off screen. Floppy for one, but caught immediately afterwards as Zeta try to get the poison cloud down. Spike has to be committed to. Mitch up top does kind of make sure the top stays safe. Now it's successfully planted, and Mitch follows up with another. Just down to Shanks, who barely missed the timing to maybe make this a bit easier on the Leaf. Has the knives to play with here. And an operator. And the first point of contact will be right here on the Leaf. Finds the first one, no problem. Right click and play. Dashing on through. 85 health. Now around the corner. The Cloudburst being spent back corner stayed safe, but both Cloud9 members right and C9 Blue put themselves within 2 after the first half. 7-5 tally.
Yeah, very scrappy round when you see Zeta just finding out that B is wide open for the taking and starts threatening those back halls. Great ult came in from Floppy to get that spike down towards the sites. And then just able to, pivot everyone back in where they need to be to cut off the rotation. So really strong round from Cloud9 Blue to close out the half, but still a very tight game. And I think Rise had a great showing for the majority of it. I mean, even the start of this round was looking really good for Rise. I feel like they were doing all the right things to make sure they get their res off, to pressure their opponent off the site. But now we switch sides, and Cloud9 Blue, with this core 4, since, I guess around that early, year time frame, have near 70% win rate on the defense of this map. So they're going to feel, like they got enough there, I feel like.
We'll see what Rise has in store for us here at the opening pistol. Win this one, you'll be really confident. Potentially not just to go up 8-5, but you expect them to be up 9-5 after that.
Yeah, they usually get like 8+ rounds defensively on the Cloud9 side of things, especially when they start on the defense in the first half. So, like I said, I feel like they think that they got enough there. I'm sure they would have loved to have 6, don't get me wrong, but
well, sure.
As long as they can convert pistol, I think that they're going to feel pretty good about things.
Cloud burst across, but Zeta sees some information. Stat to Zeppa with a find 1 with the frenzy. Boombot, he runs right by it! Oh, the point of contact eventually comes through. Super able to help out. Poised up top, though, gets one tap by Leafs. Right click. My goodness, that was at range. And that's Cloud9 Blue now in a 4v3, defensively still holding on to A.
Yeah, wild times there inside that smoke on ramps, but Cloud9 Blue do come out on top in the 4 versus 3 when it's all said and done. All Rise has is a heaven. They can threaten maybe the ropes fall back to middle, but other than that, they don't have much other options. The wall comes up, and it basically saves Derek's life. And he can't really use it to pinch back halls, though, because there's still a gap there. And Leaf and company are able to handle it, but Superman responds nicely.
It's just down to him, though. 1v2 situation. Maybe double chow. They know he's low. Finds the first. That's 4 kills in the round for Supa. But Mitch just too healthy in the backside of the play. Gets the pistol win, and now Cloud9 Blue a chance to tie up the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come into this with the Spectre. It's going to be the save from Rise. So definitely should be tying this thing up. And again, now they're on the defense. They're on their favorite side. They're on the favorite side for the map, just generally speaking. So good start here for Cloud9 Blue. Again, some wild antics to kick things off, but they were really able to kind of clamp down afterwards, defend that back halls pressure that Derek was trying to put into play. And so, yeah, you would imagine that they should be very quickly getting to a 7-7. They blocked their own
right there between Wall and Boombot.
Yeah, they blocked their own Boombot.
That'll be all
That's
right.
wild.
Yeah. I'm sure Have a lot of paint shells also coming through. Actually, could be in a position to damage up Shanks and does very heavily, actually, beyond that. It should be able to get self-sustained by a healing orb eventually, but that's going to put a very big stall to Rise, who are trying to play through the middle of the map.
Yeah, slow orb's going to slow it down. Smoke now comes up as well, making it harder for them to feel comfortable pressing towards mailroom. And again, they don't have that much firepower in play. The best they have is maybe a tailwind shorty combo out of Shanks to try to find them an opening. And Superman gets to play a little bit of a astral plane mini game, putting some stars down, smoking off mailroom, and they'll play through it.
Stack here, and Leaf has already spent almost all of his utility, save one blast pack, which we know can have an effect in this game. But down low, Floppy able to find one. Paranoia still in hand. Mitch trying to use that to peek, but it's actually Floppy who tallies up two. Mitch gets the third, and then Leaf around the back finds number 4. Just down to Poised, and he will be just flat out overwhelmed. Nowhere for him to go. So Cloud9 Blue, like you mentioned, expected to take their 7th round, and they do so very clearly.
Yeah, I mean, they had B lobby control that entire time, so that, you know, they knew what they had. They knew where they were safe and where they weren't. And it's one of those things where all Shanks could hope for is that someone was up close when they bursted through that smoke on mail to try to get that shorty a chance to have impact. And when no one was, I mean, their options were pretty limited from that point forward. But now they have a chance to fight against the Cloud9 bonus round, a chance to maybe pull ahead around here with a superior firepower. Again, they're kind of just opening up fairly default to kick things off. Maybe trying to just get some mid control early. That's kind of the bread and butter of a split attack.
This time, Boom does get through successfully. No wall to block him. But the spam shots from Leaf behind it will not largely connect with too much of anything. So Shanks will gain some possession here, and that Boombot actually gives them the clearance to go down into ropes safely. That's actually brilliant. Not sure if
this is the ideal map control play. If you're going to play this like slower mid control style, to be able to get this much space this quickly is exactly what you want. Now, based on your practice, you should have all kinds of protocols established based on what info you find and what things you start hearing as far as rotations go. Now, this is an interesting little wall play, but now it's gone. Mitch slows, but has to back up into sight, so now Rise are also taking control of B lobby a little bit here, or at least feinting it. Now they'll double back to A side. They've caused a rotation from Cloud9, and they might be able to find a little bit of an opening here on the A side of the map. They also still have mid.
Yeah.
They still have that jet tucked in the ropes.
Super used a lot of utility for B, so they have to feel like this is going to be a call. But yeah, Shanks is in a great spot.
Yeah, he's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
So now the Nebulas will come through to block off both Heaven and screens. It isolates Zeta on the site for now. Still has the screen, Snakebite the delay, so now maybe an opportunity for Cloud9 Blue to reinforce, but the hit is on the way. Rise moving quickly, right in front of Zeta. There's a couple of players, but Poise is able to find first blood. Zeppa right to the Cloudburst, nearly gets a bit of a timing, but Rise cleaning things up around their setup. And Shanks was really not even required, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's just the hit from the front was so good.
Yeah. Even throw a Cosmic Divide in for good measure to really deter Cloud9 Blue from wanting to try to fight for this retake early. I mean, now they're going to do what they can. It's a bonus run anyway. They're going to try to play around this wall. Shanks is waiting for them to come on through.
Mitch gets one.
Go. I mean, that's a great design round from Rise. They feinted B very
really
well.
Is.
They had their jet in ropes cutting off rotations and listening for that B Heaven maneuver. And as well as a pinch option if they so wanted to get A Heaven later. Yeah, just good design, like mid control into kind of a, you know, slight fake to B into a really heavy A attack. I mean, again, they definitely look like they're well drilled on this attacking side.
Shout out to our ops team too. They were great yesterday, incredible today. Just so many good looks at some of these engagements that we've had.
Right.
Big shout outs. Best in the biz, for sure. Prezi and Yeti today, holding down the cams for us. Now an opportunity for Rise to maybe even build a bit of space here. 8-7 the current tally. And if they could find a way to get 9 here on the offense, it would put Cloud9 Blue in a really awkward spot financially. But still, the superior firepower does favor that of Cloud9. It looked for now. Leaf up
Same
top,
opening.
Up an opportunity to make sure that things stay safe. And I was about to say, same exact setup, because Shanks was never a part of that play in the last round.
Yeah, but the good thing about having a similar opening every round is that it makes it hard for the defense to read what you're doing. Like, yeah, okay, they're taking mid control, they're taking ropes, but what are they doing with that? You know, unless you're being proactive at A ramps or you're trying to take B lobby control defensively, you're kind of just having to sit back and just kind of wait for something else to happen before you can start rotating. And now they're going to wall over the opposing one. They're going to get into B heaven here. They're threatening it. There is a
cover
player
misses.
on the rafters with Mitch.
Our cover is low. Doesn't actually block any line of sight, so Rise can still commit to this, but Mitch able to find one. Eric instantly responding, and then the concussion will come through as Rise will find 3 straight kills. 4v2 situation. Spike's going to be planted, and for C9, Zeppa's already peeking early. He's able to find one elimination, but that will be all he comes for, as they're going to have to back away and try to play this one a little bit more strategically 2v3.
Very tough retake here for Cloud9 with Zeppa already so low on health. It's all are coming from one way, and Rise has good positioning here.
Boys, the camera does get deleted, but they should know that, yeah, Zeta's playing on one side, and Boys, brilliant read onto Zeppa for the second. Clean shots coming through, and now 9-7 for Rise. That's going to put him in a really good spot financially, and on the other side for Cloud9 Blue, you're looking at either just a light buy or a full-on save coming up.
Yeah, again, just good masking early in the round from Rise. You know, doing mid control while not really letting their opponents know what they're doing with it until right when the strike comes. You know, they wall over. They're able to break through heaven. They're able to overwhelm that B site. Trading efficiency is really good. And so now they have the lead 9-7. They have Cloud9 Blue back onto a lower buy. Frenzies and Ghost. Actually, Mitch picks up a Sheriff right as I say that. And so Rise have a great chance to build up and win the race double digits.
Different setup this time. It's actually a bunch of Astra utility in that position mid-map and over towards Rose, but the same boom bot will go through. This time there will be no follow-up from Shanks as he's just positioned inside B main. Spike is also left at mid-market, so for Rise, they're just trying to feel things out and make sure that you can get onto 10 here with the weapon advantage that they hold.
Yeah, they're, you know, once again, putting that same mid-pressure they've been doing every single round, but now they're gathering up all 5 through B lobby, and they have won the rock, paper, scissors battle, so to speak, as they will find an empty B bomb site here. Everyone from Cloud9 Blue is pressing through A ramps. Now they'll have to just kind of flank through sewers and flank through mid and try to play a retake. 5-on-5 with full health, sure, but again, not much weaponry to put to use as the conga line comes through into middle.
Yeah,
but good luck breaking this open.
Yeah, you've got Shanks watching the backside. He's going to get some help, and it's Derek who rotates over. Poise is also really close by, just in case.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tall ask here for Cloud9 Blue, and it looks like they will try to make the move from top first, but Derek, that wide peak is so much information. The paranoia comes out. Meanwhile, Poise on the opposite angle, able to find one elimination. Floppy throwing at least a kill into the mix for Cloud9, but largely this has been so beautifully held from Rise, and beyond that, just red in general as far as how the retake's coming through.
Yeah, this one's done and dusted, one would say. Floppy gets a third there, and you know, that at least makes it expensive on Rise, forcing a little bit of rebuying out. And again, not like Cloud9 Blue could do much in that situation, considering they were just on the pistols. But now, they're back onto the full buy. Again, they are a team that has had a history of a lot of success defensively on this map. They have an operator in play coming into this one for Zeppa. They also have a res in a... Yeah, they do have the res. They also have a showstopper. Yep. So they have a lot coming into this round. But you feel like this is maybe a tipping point type round. If Cloud9 Blue were to lose here, they would kind of be force buying for kind of the rest of the game because you know, Rise would be one away from map point, and so this is a very scary situation for Cloud9 Blue. You know, coming in as a favorite, you know, coming in with a lot of hype around them. Rise though has kind of slowly pieced this team together over the last 2 or 3 months, and they look really polished. I feel like. I mean, definitely been impressed by what I've seen so far on this attacking side.
Absolutely. I was about to say the exact same thing when it comes to the fact that we're seeing what they have to offer here from the attack, maybe even a little bit more so than the defense, which, to be fair, was also good. I mean, really good, to be honest. So now you're in a must-win round here for Cloud9, and the tactical timeout, as you saw come through, means that discussions have already happened as far as what are they going to spend here, but you have to feel like beyond that, if things do go wrong, what happens in round 19 after this? So I'll be really interested, I think, just to see what Cloud9 has drawn up here for this defense. Zeta's going to be able to put an early wall down to split the middle of the map, and that seems to be the big conversation as far as what exactly we want to do with this opening Viper utility.
Yeah, early wall here by Cloud9 over towards A ramps, forcing a lot of gunfire to break it, so they'll hear at least a couple of players here and trying to set up Zeppa's op, perhaps, as Shank's also taking an op up around this area. In the meantime, Cloud9 Blue defensively are going to take control of B lobby, and this is big. This gives them some nice map control to make up for the fact that they might be conceding middle. As we see, though, Rise had the same stars out in ropes, but no one's actually playing off of it. They're looking to kind of just gather up and play a site.
Star will actually be pulled back by Supa.
Yep.
So yeah, I think you're right. That wall has changed everything from Rise's point of view. No focus towards mid-map here. Gonna get a little bit of a head fake from Rise over towards A. It's Neptune who's going to try to clear some space. You have to imagine the Boombot will likely be committed to this just to keep Cloud9 Blue honest defensively. But really the point of contact that you're looking for is actually over towards this B main. And that's actually going to be the Blades also called in here for Rise.
Yeah, that's good, right? They want something that they can aggress with, right? The op isn't going to be that tool necessarily. So having the daggers to push in with, try to help entry is big.
They threw, so Supa collects all of his stars, throws 3 nebulas down around A, plus the Blades. I don't know if a fake dash was thrown as well, but all of Cloud9 Blue have bailed. It's just Neptune, the only player who's here just playing a lurking role. He's found one, nearly gets more, but beyond that, you've got the ability for Rise to get a free plant. So yes, the res is here, but this is a 4v5 that Rise are going to be feeling pretty darn good about their chances to set up a post plant. Yeah,
but there is a showstopper and mana advantage available for Cloud9 Blue. They still have plenty of time to work out this retake, so there's still very much an opportunity for Cloud9 here to take this round.
Leaf, not going to initially go into sight, just throws that out blindly to the back corner, and that actually does not confirm a lot of damage. Up top, Zeppa's denied. Rise maybe trying to hold this back. Supa for 2, but Cloud9 stacking together, just wolfpacking this, but nobody sees Supa. Him and Poise have collected for all the final 3 eliminations. In Rise, what a little bait and switch that is. They win the plant, they get the 4v5, and now up 11-7 where Cloud9 are going to have to save.
Yeah, just such a good fake here. You know, putting Neptune's pressure with Raze into play alongside some false Astra Stars to really sell that this was going to be a B attack coming out of Rise. And all the while, they sneak their way into B. And then in the post plant, despite being a man down, they avoid the showstopper. They get some great positioning. Superman tees off, and now they're up to 11-7. And they actually force Cloud9 to have to essentially play for overtime. You know, they're going to pick up some sheriffs here and try to give themselves a chance. But, you know, they have to make sure that they have weapons going into what could be the final round of the map. So Rise really have a firm grasp of this game right now. Very good opportunity to take this map away from Cloud9 Blue and cause what I think a lot of people will consider a bit of an upset considering how well Cloud9 were playing last stage.
And all of the hype that apparently has been kind of floating around about them.
There's been a lot of it, man. A lot of people were excited about Zeppa's acquisition and him coming in for Poise, and obviously some of these other guys have shown some great ability last stage. So yeah, a lot of hype around them, but they're having a tough time here, and Rise is taking advantage of it.
And to be fair, you know, 4 of the 5 players for Rise, we've talked about being the surprise players for a number of different teams in the past. We talked about Dignitas, a couple of others that have been in the mix where they've contended against top-tier teams. The only one not a part of that conversation so far has been Derek, but he's definitely inserted him into it now. Neptune, backside, slow orb. Ooh, gonna be challenged here, but deals with Zeppa, Shanks here for help, and it's clean! It's a flawless round. Supa comes from behind. Shanks able to also help out from top side, and that will be enough to put Rise on map point against what was Cloud9's pick.
Yeah, they have been having a tough time here. They have only defensively one pistol and the following anti-eco. It's been a clean sweep for Rise since. And again, this is a map Cloud9 have a near 70% defensive win rate on coming into this match. I mean, it has been their bread and butter to play defense. I mean, last stage they looked really good. Again, they were always usually good for kind of like 8+ rounds defensively, and now they've been limited to 2, and not even a rifle round.
Wow. What a turnaround this half has been.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with Rise's ability to not only play like mid-control and be methodical, but also just some of these like little fakes they've run. I mean, they definitely have shown some good diversity here.
Well, they're going to have to showcase that here once more as you're going to get the Viper's Pit mid-map.
Yep.
Supa considering what he wants to do with stars at the moment as the rest of the team stacks around this, and you see all the pings coming through as far as what they're going to want to do to place and maybe just immediately execute off of.
Yeah, they're going to probably smoke off screens A heaven and maybe even just make sure no one's playing that Raptors position. They can also use Cosmic Divide to not have to use necessarily many of the stars for smokes, but use it for other utilities.
Showstopper coming out. Not going to find too much with anything yet, just opening engagements coming through, but Rise will still possess the zone, plus also get the resurrection into the mix. Paint Shells just right out in the middle of the site actually forces Shanks to go to the high ground. Derek watching over the top of his barrier orb just to make sure that if there are any of the Cloud9 members that move through, they are contested initially. Zeppa's going to updraft on top. But over towards Tower. Soup is able to find one. Derek holding on the trigger, finds more. And Cloud9 never get through screens. It's Rise who surprised first, 13-7. And a set will be coming up next.